Today, I'm going to be working on another Star Wars build, the Clonetrooper V-19 Torrent Starfighter from the original 2003 Clone Wars animation. The model comes pre-painted, but I'll be doing my own custom paint job on top. Hopefully, by the time it's finished, it fits right in with some of my other favorite Star Wars collectibles. And with that in mind, let's get started. Now, if you're wondering, this is a Revell snap model kit. They're super easy to assemble even if you're new to model building. And while they aren't quite as refined or detailed as a lot of the Bondi kits, I actually really like the design they made with this one in particular. I began by snapping together all the main parts for the center of the Starfighter. Next, I assembled the cockpit, along with this Clone Trooper Phase 1 pilot. And honestly, when it comes to the look of it, I've always preferred the look of Phase 1 over Phase 2 pilots, but let me know what you think in the comments below. I attached the seat to the cockpit, and also installed the control joystick, but no matter how hard I tried, I could not for the life of me get the joystick to stay in place. So, this is the only part of the build where I actually had to use some model glue to help it anchor itself down. Once that was dry, I moved on to the windshield. I hooked it on underneath, so now it can fully open and close. After assembling some of the smaller pieces, I put the engines together. I also tilted the center wing from this little hook and moved it down into place. I connected the top part to the bottom part, and now all that's left is to move on to the wings. Just like its on-screen appearances, all three wings can rotate into different configurations. The central wing can even flip upwards in a completely vertical stance. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to configure everything downwards into the standard combat position. Now when it comes to paint, this one is a little bit tricky. While the model does come pre-painted with some basic colors, I know I can clean things up and make it look a whole lot better. I started off the painting with some silver, but I absolutely hate this paint. It started off so streaky, so I actually had to do a bunch of different layers to get the right consistency. As for the red, that needs a lot of work. The color they chose for the pre-painted model just seems a little bit too washed out, so I mixed up some darker paints and really amped up the saturation. Also, I was just replaying Republic Commando a little while ago, and I remembered something that I had completely forgotten. At the very end of the game, there's a really cool cutscene where you see a bunch of Torrent Starfighters flying in the background. It's such a cool little detail, but one day I would love to see these kind of ships included in live action. And of course, my favorite part whenever it comes to painting is always adding in a layer of watered down black paint. These types of washes always bring out the best part of the details, and because I want this Starfighter to look like it's seen a space battle or two, I made sure to apply lots of carbon scoring near the corners and especially around the engines. And just like that, this clone Starfighter is complete. So please stick around and take a look at the final result.